Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about my 6th month as an entrepreneur. I can't believe how time is flying. It's already been 6 months that I started my own company. And I want to talk to you today about my 6th month as an entrepreneur. Because every month I'm doing a reflection video upon all of the things that happened to me, all of the learnings and all of the challenges. And I want to share that with you because building your own company is not an easy piece of cake. So I really want to show you and showcase to you what has been going on in my own life and in my own business and what kind of learnings I'm drawing from that I want to share with you. So the month of July was definitely less busy than my 5th month as an entrepreneur because I was not traveling as much, and it was extremely important for me to be really mindful of that decision because I had traveled so much in the month of June, and May, June and the beginning of July was so busy that I really needed some time to rest and reset. So after 4th of July, which is a huge holiday in the States, I was traveling for a week to New York City to deliver my final training of my roadshow at the Uber Eats office in New York to 80 people. And I also gave a training to Googlers in the New York City office. I think there were around 130 people that joined the training, and then I did also another training at the Google office for a small group of people. So lots of things that happened in that 1 week time span while I was in New York City, and man, was I challenged while being in New York. It was extremely hot and extremely humid. I don't know if you've ever traveled to New York in the middle of July, but I did not expect that, not at all. So when I got to New York, I was literally hit with a wall of heat and humidity. And I stayed in a friend's apartment that did not have air conditioning. So it was really challenging. I was sweating the whole time. I was extremely challenged by the noise and by the people, just kind of the hustle and bustle of the city, which I'm obviously not used to living in a, 10, 15,000 people town here in Northern California. And so going to New York really pushed all of my buttons and all of my challenges. And it was great. It was a great challenge. And I was really grateful for that because I was telling myself, hey, I'm a stress management coach and I'm teaching people all over the world how to deal with their own stress. And here I am dealing with it myself and learning and taking a lot of learnings away from that. So that was a really powerful week for me. Not just because it was challenging, but obviously also because I planted a lot of seeds for my business. And I also launched the 8-week online coaching program, which I announced while I was at Google. And it was a really fun process for me. And obviously such an amazing feeling of seeing the work completed that I had put out to do at the beginning of May. So that was really exciting for me, super, super cool. And so yeah, the 8-week online coaching program was launched. I had the first programs that I sold to a couple of clients, which is obviously so exciting for me to see that there is some demand about the things that I'm offering. And at the same time, I was really challenged. And one of the things that I was really challenged by, and I already mentioned it, was really the noise, the heat, the people, not being really able to switch off at night. And I'm a really extremely noise sensitive person. So not being able to completely relax and recharge at night was really challenging for me. But when I got to New York and I realized what I have to deal with for a week, I really told myself, hey, you have a choice. I can either choose to be annoyed by this for the next 6 days and make my life completely miserable, or I can choose to accept what is going on for a week and just try to find peace and calm and my own center in all of this kind of, exciting, hustling and bustling city, and work on my own stress management tools and techniques while being there. And it worked really well. Definitely over the first 1 or 2 days, I felt so overwhelmed and so triggered that I was kind of really falling really quickly back into my old habits. I would lay in bed at night and scroll through my social media feed for hours, which I haven't done in a really long time. But I feel like, especially when you're traveling, it is really easy to kind of slip into your old routines and forgot all of the good things that you have set out to do. And I was still journaling, this is kind of my biggest and my most important tool that I'm using on a daily basis in order to reflect on all of the things that are going on and of all of the actions that I'm taking as well. And after the second or third day, kind of realizing, how much of an effect the city had on myself as a person, I was like, really honest with myself, and I said to myself, okay, I have a choice here, and we always have a choice. We always have a choice, and stress management always starts with you. Because at the beginning, I really told myself, oh my God, how am I supposed to teach people about stress management? And I'm feeling completely overwhelmed by the city. So am I not good enough, maybe? That was really a huge question for me, right? But then I was like, no, I can do this. And I know all of the tools that I need to use for myself in order to ground myself and bring peace and mindfulness back into my life, especially when it is so busy and when there are so many triggers. So I was really strict with myself in the evenings to not watch TV or to not scroll through my social media feed, but really to lay down and to journal for an hour, to just kind of, download all of the things that happened to me during the day. And obviously I had a lot of different conversations with people. I met a lot of really interesting people. And so that was a lot of fun, but obviously I was very full of information. So that was a huge challenge, but I think I took on the challenge and I managed it pretty well in the end. And I have a lot of old friends that live in New York City, so I had the time to catch up with them as well. But definitely one of the big learnings that I'm taking away for myself is that, first of all, we always have a choice. And it is extremely important to stick to your routines, especially when you're traveling, especially when you're not at home, because that is when it is the most difficult to stick to your routines, but the most important. So that was a huge learning for me and a big reminder that I need to be strict with myself during those times. And finally, I think it was really important for me to see that when you're launching a new program, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden there's 500 people that are starting to use it, but you have to start planting seeds, and it is really important that you start somewhere. So obviously we always have higher expectations. I obviously went in and I hoped that I would sell more programs because I was working on this really hard, and I totally believe in the 8-week online coaching program. I think the result is so beautiful. The workbook is so cool. The exercises are so powerful. I got so much incredible feedback from my early testers about all of the cool things that they started to implement in their lives and that really made a big difference for them. That I obviously hope that there would be hundreds of people that would buy my program. But yeah, it's really important to kind of, to be honest with yourself, and it's a good reminder that we have to kind of take our expectations back a little bit and just see what happens. And everything that we do is part of the process and is a really important step in order to get where we want to get to. And I'm sure that nobody really has started a program or a service and sold 500 packages overnight or something like that. It's really rare. So really hard work. I'm sure hard work pays off. I'm totally believing that. So yeah. So that was kind of my New York trip. So great time meeting lots of different people, training a lot of different people. I trained about 250 people that week alone. And yeah, so that was really great. I was very happy to go back home after that trip, because really a week by myself traveling was honestly a little bit too much. I was really longing to be home and to relax because it was a super busy time. And I really felt like I needed some time to switch off. So I came home, and for 4 weeks I didn't have any plans traveling or going anywhere. So I really enjoyed just being back home. I just did for 10 days. I just took all of the time that I needed in order to relax, unwind, enjoy the summertime in California, go out on the lake, exercise more, take more care of myself, and really reflect on all of the things that had happened over the past like 2.5 months. Obviously finalizing a couple of things for my 8-week online coaching program, helping the new clients that started the program to get started with it and answer any of their questions. So I'm always busy. There's always things to do. So obviously, you know, that's just what life is, especially as an entrepreneur. But it was also really important for me to be okay with not doing too much for a couple of days and for a couple of weeks. One of the other things that I started in July that I'm super excited about is that I started to think more locally about how I can expand my business. So a good friend of mine, her name is Tiffany, she started to organize a business networking group in Reno, which is the closest, biggest city kind of in the area here, which is a kind of a booming city. So there's a lot of companies that are starting to implant in Reno. So there's, for example, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, and a lot of other really cool companies. And there's also a big University of Nevada in Reno. And we started to build and put together a business networking group where we are helping each other to build our businesses through sharing our own contacts. And so we just started that, but this has been really exciting for me, especially because I have been working on my own for a couple of months now, and being able to go out and meet with people and exchange with people and, you know, talk about the things that work and that don't work, and also talk about different contacts that we have and that we can share with each other in order to help grow our businesses is really exciting for me, as you can probably tell. So yeah, so that was the month of July. And as I said, there were a lot of learnings again in this month as well. One of the big learnings was that I probably should not have launched a new program in the month mid-July where a lot of people are on vacation, and it might not be the best month to start a completely new service, because my experience and the reason of why I was also able to relax and unwind a little bit was that a lot of people were on vacation and unresponsive. So that was a huge learning for me. So not really starting a new program middle of July. I could have done it probably in September, where everybody is back from vacation. And at the same time, it was just a kind of a slower period for my business because everybody's on vacation and enjoying their time. And so it was a good period for me as well to recharge and get back to myself. So yeah, I hope this video is helpful as always. I hope that you're taking a lot of insights away from this for your own business and for your own challenges that you might be experiencing along the way. Just keep on going. I totally believe in yourself, and I know that if we are just chipping away at all of the goals that we have, because time goes by anyway, we will be able to make a difference. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. With gratitude, Julia.